Hi, this is Kristy Moore. I've been selling real estate for 12 years. Our team of highly trained professionals, along with our marketing plan, has sold over 700 homes all over the DC market. And this is how we do it. Hi, this is Kristy, and today I'm going to answer the question about what to say when you're prospecting to your farm and what is your follow-up plan. So it's really important that when you're prospecting to the farm, if you're following the system of the less branded postcards, that you come from a place of customer service when you do the follow-up calls. So these people are requesting a report on their neighborhood of home sales and active and under contract properties in their specific neighborhood. So again, you want to go with the same vein of focusing on the neighborhood as well as a customer service standpoint. 15% of the people are going to be doing something in the next 90 days. 85% of people will be 90 days plus. So this is a long-term follow-up strategy, and it's really important that you understand that that is where the money is made in this particular type of marketing. So when you call them, again, they're looking for a market report. So the first thing that you say is, "Hi, this is Kristy with Local Expert Realty. And the reason I'm calling is because I received a request for the market report in Bryson, and I wanted to let you know that I emailed that over to you. Is that okay?" So the reason why you start with this is, number one, people want to know who you are and why you're calling immediately. Otherwise, they want to get off the phone. So you have to let them know who you are, why you're calling immediately when they answer the phone, so that their guard comes down from, "Oh my gosh, who is this person? Why are they calling?" Secondly, you want to let them know that you're following up on a request that they made. So again, they're not feeling like they're on the defense. And the last thing is to say, "Is that okay?" Because who's going to say it's not okay that you sent the information that they requested? Also, it gets the conversation going. So if you end in that question, it helps with keeping them on the phone and creating a dialogue. So the next question that you want to have answered is, what is their time frame? So you would ask, "Oh, okay, great. So are you folks looking to make a move in the next 3 to 6 months?" And depending on what they say is how you're going to follow up. So if they're looking to move in 3 months or less, you're going to want to set an appointment with them, which I'll get to in a second. If they're looking in 6 months or more, the next question would be, "Okay, well, we're going to continue to send you updates on your market. So if anything changes, just let us know. In the meantime, would you really like to..." Doing that again. Okay. If they're 6 months or more, then you would want to ask if it's okay to follow up with them. So a great thing to ask is, would it be okay if I followed up with you at a later time? And if they say yes, which most people will, then you ask, "Okay, well, when would be a good time for me to follow up?" And whatever they say, you cut it in half minus a month, and that's when you follow up with them. So if they say that they're a year out and they say, "Call me in 6 months," you're going to call them in 3. And the reason is because most people will tell you when they want to move, not when they want to start the process. And we all know the process takes a lot longer than a day. So it's important to follow up with them sooner rather than later so you don't miss them. Also, it's important to ask for permission to follow up. Most people respect the fact that you're asking for permission to follow up versus just following up with them and annoying them. And if they give you permission, then it's a much better conversation the next time you call them because you're just doing what you said you were going to do. You're following up with them as they requested. You also want to ask if it's okay to send them a monthly newsletter. So would you like us to send you a monthly newsletter that keeps you in touch with what's happening in the marketplace? They're already going to get your market reports on a monthly basis. We also send out a monthly newsletter that gives them tips about what to do and what not to do to get the most amount of money on their home sale. So once you get these questions answered, if they're still on the phone, you want to make sure you know what their specific reason is for moving. So the main thing is their timing. If that's all you get when you talk to them on the phone and you know how to follow up with them, that's the most important thing. That's why it's the first question. If they're still on the phone or they're in a shorter period of time versus the longer term prospect, the next question would be, "Okay, great. So are you planning on moving? Or are you planning on staying in the area or moving out of the area?" And the reason why you want to know this is because you want to know if they have relocation or if they're moving for family reasons. This opens up the dialogue to give you more information versus just when are they moving. And if people have a specific reason to move, you know that they're motivated. So the next question you would want to ask is, if you were to move, when do you think that might be? And the reason why you ask this question is because at this point, they're now opening up to you, so they're probably gonna tell you the truth versus when you first asked them what their timing was. And they might have forgot that they lied to you initially. It does happen. So when you ask if you were to move, when do you think that might be? It's also a good question to ask if they're unsure or they say, I don't know, or I was just curious. It's another way of asking the same question about their timing. The next question you want to ask is, well, do you have an agent to help you when the time is right? You want to know if they're already committed to somebody. If they are committed to somebody 100%, then it might not be worth your time to follow up with them. If they don't have an agent or they're a little hesitant on who they might be using, then you know that they might be open to a second opinion. If they're hesitating a little bit or they're not really sure, I would definitely ask, well, are you open to having another opinion about your house? That way, you know if they're open to the idea. If they're open to the idea, you can generally get an appointment with them. And then lastly is asking for the appointment. So when we ask for the appointment, we like to give them a no obligation consultation. So I would say something along the lines of, well, would you like us to come by and do an accurate description of what your home would sell for? And we can also give you tips and tricks of what to do and what not to do to get the most amount of money. And we'll let you know what you'll have out of your pocket after you pay all of your expenses. Does that sound helpful? The reason why you want to say, does that sound helpful, is because most people are not going to say that's not helpful, because it is helpful. To give them more information and to consult them is helpful. So that's why you want to ask that question at the end. And generally at this point, they're open to meeting with you. They're open to having that information given to them. So the last thing you want to know is, do mornings, afternoons, or evenings work better for you? And that will just give you a good idea as far as when you'll be able to meet with them. So thank you for watching my video. If you have any other questions, you can call, text, or email me.